running, I feel like nothing. Always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw it coming. You were so wild, but no, I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed. You know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. Trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? It's good to see you all in chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Can we guys can hear me? I moved my studio back, so I just want to make sure. Thank you, Lisa. Today is October 7th, 2023. 5:33 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all so much for joining me. So, we are going to be talking about the Summer Wells case. However, we do have a little bit of breaking news, if you will. Um, kind of related to the Summer Wells case. Don Wells can't stay out of trouble. He was pulled over. When was he pulled over? September 19th or September 18th or September 19th. It says the filing date is September 19th. So Don Wells was pulled over, and I don't know if I'm going to show you another little piece of paper here as well. Just can't seem to stay out of trouble, can he? All right. So here, 58 male, and he was pulled over in Sullivan County of this year. Yes, just the other day. Um, event date and time. He has a court date of November 6th, 2023 at Sullivan Court General Session Court, Kingsport, Circuit Court 200 Shelby Street, Kingsport. I did call today because I heard that they took him to jail, but I wasn't able to. I don't. To me, it looks just like something as far as um, speeding. Now, what I thought was interesting, because it says he was speeding, it does say that, but it says Tennessee license 30-day residency. Remember, he got his license for Arkansas. Is there any police contact, automatic duress on probation? That's what I was wondering. I was like, will this break his probation? He's already got a blow and go. No, he can drive. He he is allowed to drive. Traffic hearing, does that mean speeding or something minor? Um, the only thing that I see is that he got a speeding ticket and he has to pay $395. Thank you, Rhonda. He owes child support and they will suspend license over that. Well, you know, apparently maybe he's caught up. I don't know. No surprise he drives like a maniac. Hmm. Hello, hello. Hey Betty, how does he have a driver's license when I heard he had unpaid child support? Well, Hawkins County, why haven't they arrested these people a long time ago? I mean, let's think about it. Let's think about it. I don't mean to talk about anyone else, but Cam and Allie, they're being charged. They're being charged. Why the hell are the Wells not being charged? They're in a different state, right? They're in a different state, right? So if he has a payment arrangement of some sort, they likely, yeah, probably. Um, yes, Coco, I'm sure there'll be a charity fund real quick, with that. If he wasn't driving the vehicle with the blow and go, he could be in trouble. Well, Brittany, we do know that when Don likes to go party, he will take the Subaru because it doesn't have a blow and go. But I bet you he drives a lot slower in that Subaru when he has it. Um, he needed $4,500 just this past week desperately. Really? Well, he's got a $397 uh, fee here, and he's got to show up to court. What are Cam and Allie charged with? I forget. He can't be responsible driving. How would he? He can't be responsible driving. How would he be with the boys? Yeah. I mean, a speeding ticket is not, in my opinion, that big of a deal. It's really not. I mean, I- that's the only, I have a speeding ticket or five. So, but if Florida, your license gets suspended over back child support, it does in most states. They're waiting for him to mess up. Well, Daily, I think he's messed up so many times. Come on now. I'm sure just about everybody in the chat has got a speeding ticket. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a speeding ticket. It's an infraction. It's not. It's nothing really. At the end of the day, they haven't mentioned it. Uh, but again, he is on probation. I don't know if that will affect his probation. what, you're not supposed to break the law in any form or fashion during probation, but I don't know if an infraction counts with that. Oh, I mean, I've gotten speeding tickets, several. Um, Not so much anymore, but the defensive driver court takes points up. You know something? All intents, that's a good point. Uh, because of his DUI and tickets he's already got, I wonder if this could harm his points on his, because do all states do that? Like, do they have a point record? Like, a lot of states, they have, I don't know if Tennessee does it, but you have so many points, and every time you get, like, if you get a ticket, uh, it'll take off points. I thought they had it in Tennessee and stuff. So, and then after so many points, it can be suspended. However, after so long, the ticket falls off, almost like a credit score, but for your license. Yeah, I think pretty much all the states do. Yep, insurance will be high or drop you. So, I thought that we could bring that. Uh, so yeah, this was on September. He got pulled over. The violation date was September 18th, 2023. Filing date was the 19th. Um, and I don't, it's hard to say. Under here it says Tennessee license 30-day residency. So I wonder if if he filed to be a resident back in Tennessee again. I'm sure, I'm really surprised that he was allowed to get a Arkansas license to begin with, you know, because he was on Tennessee probation. And I think that may be a lot of the reason why they was like, get back here. You've never had a ticket? Aren't you special, Tropicana? I'm just kidding. Good for you. Good for you, actually. Uh, which YouTuber will he blame for this? I don't know. Who knows? Florida temporary 30 days. Probation. Maybe his probation officer doesn't know. Be interesting if his license plate was up to date as well as car insurance. Yeah, I thought about that myself. You've never had a ticket. Well, aren't you guys just great? Just great. Um, I can't say that I've never had a ticket because I've had probably 5 or 6 speeding tickets in my day. I haven't had one for quite a while though. So I'm gonna jinx myself now. Exactly, Coco. No, having a speeding ticket is an infraction. It's not criminal. I mean, you are essentially breaking the law, but it's an infraction. I had one ticket at 18, but I'm 63 now. Well, Suzanne, it's been a while. All right, here we go. So we are going to talk about some of the things that we talked about last time on our live, which was Don slipped up. We know this. Uh, saying the incident that happened at the watering hole. And for the last over 2 years, we never knew an incident happened at the watering hole. There was no incident that they ever said happened at the watering hole. My son said I drive like grandma. That's good, Rebecca. That's good. But I wanted to play a little something right here. And let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. It's originally by our friend Chris from the interview room. However, I'm playing it on LTL right now. Uh, I love this little channel, LTL. They don't really make videos that often, but when they do, they find really interesting stuff. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Beach there or on the shoreline there.
Could y'all hear that? Let me know. If I have time later this evening, uh yeah, LTL. Okay, perfect. Thank you. If I have time later this evening, we may be on Clutch Them Pearls later tonight. And Daisy Basham might visit. We'll have to see.
You see, there's a little like tree there or a log. Yeah, yeah. She went like as far as that, and not no farther. Okay. I just seen that she was underwater for like 15 seconds. So I was like, "Are you okay?" And I pulled up. She said, "Yeah, I'm just swimming underwater."
So 10 to 15 seconds, Hunter says right there, right? I just seen that she was underwater for 10 to 15 seconds. Could you hear that? It's a little low. It's a little low. I just seen that she was underwater for 10 to 15 seconds. And I was researching. Pamela, yes, if I do, I will be wearing a bow. I got on at the TJ Maxx's. All right, gotta be serious. Okay, 10 to 15 seconds. H says, well, okay. So I was doing a little bit of research, and we never knew that there was any type of incident. Don says it, and then whenever I saw personally, I saw Candace's face on June 15th, I knew that something triggered her. Obviously, it was an emotional day. I don't know what was triggering her, if it was just emotion, but I'd never seen her like that, in my opinion. Drowning doesn't look like drowning. Kids can drown in 20 seconds. Can drown in 20 seconds. Let's say Grandis is up there putting minutes on her phone, right? H is doing whatever he's doing. Candace is on her phone TikToking or helping Grandis put on minutes on her phone. We don't know what happened that day. We know that she didn't have a life jacket. We do know that. Hunter said she went under from the beginning and he is not reliable. 20 must seem like an eternity for them. But, when we think of drowning, we think of someone splashing their arms, being loud, screaming help. But if you can scream help, you're not drowning. Just so you know, if you are screaming help, you are not drowning. And I think this is very important. Did you know that drowning doesn't look like drowning? Often we think of kids drowning and adults drowning as it seemed in the movies, thrashing about, yelling for help, and just an overall Hollywood style of drowning symptoms. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Drowning doesn't look like drowning. And so we're trained to, in our minds to think of what drowning looks like. Uh, Drowning people, they cannot call or wave their arms for help. They can't do that. Our instincts is to extend our arms laterally and press down on the waters. Pressing down on the surface of the water permits drowning people to leverage their bodies to get above the water surface and take a breath. Unfortunately, pressing down on the water cannot stop drowning people from going under. This explains why drowning is the second highest cause of accidental death in children aged 15 and under. I believe it's number one in ages 4 and under. I could be wrong, uh, but I know 4 and under is a. Okay. It is the number one cause of injury, death of children ages 1 to 4. Make Safe Happen found that in 2016, open water drownings in lakes, oceans, rivers, etc., made up 43% of fatal childhood drownings, compared to 38% in pools, 9% in bathtubs, and 10% unspecified. So you are way more likely to drown a child, particularly in a lake or an ocean or some natural body of water. Okay. Similar accidental injury in the leading cause of death of children 0 to 12 years old, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 9 million children are treated in emergency rooms across the country, and more than 9,000 children die each year due to accidental injuries. 9,000 children, accidental injuries. It's not a far fetch to say that an accident happened with Summer. Now, the accident, in my opinion, if there was an accident, is something that the parents could get in trouble for. Wasn't watching them, shouldn't have had, uh, should have been, something the parents could get charged for, in my opinion. So when when you say that, okay, so you're more likely to drown than you are to be kidnapped by someone, a child to be kidnapped by someone they don't know. It's more of a probability to drown when you think of it that way. Yes, pretty sure Granda said Summer didn't feel good that day as well. She certainly did, Shannon. She certainly did in that text. Yes. Don was told by the angel, I guess, but knowing he tried selling his son before, chances are Summer didn't drown. Well, I don't think she was sold. And I'll just say that. And according to a former, which I played it on this channel, a former TBI agent, now retired, she said that it's highly unlikely that there was some sort of like trafficking involved, because people who traffic don't like the attention. They don't want people knocking on their door, right? So I personally, I personally don't think she was trafficked. And the TBI has a 90 the TBI, the card team, has a 90% chance. They're a specialized part of the FBI. They say they have a 90% chance of recovery of the child. That means alive or other, unalive. They said there's no abduction, no sign of abduction. Now, I'm personally going to believe the FBI, the card team, over Don and Candace any day. It's a very risky thing. Yes, it's very risky. Um, but again, all theories are on the table, right? We don't know. Um, but we are going to talk about some of the things, and we're going to go back to kind of what we were talking about the other day. 70% of drownings occur from May to September, which is basically, you know, the months you can swim in the United States, along with when children are out of school, right? Um, what else? And yeah, cold water can affect children's swimming ability as well. There was some more facts on here. I think I want to see. A child can drown in just 20 seconds. 20 seconds. That is why, especially little ones, right? You've got to keep your eye on them. 20 seconds. That means one child could potentially drown 3 times in a minute. Think of that. That is terrifying. Also, we have to remember that the boys were not there that day. The boys really watched out for Summer. They really watched out for Summer. They weren't there that day. They weren't there to watch Summer at the watering hole, the lake, the horse pond, whatever you want to call it. So there's that. So we know Grandis is in her truck, up in the truck, if she's there at all. And H, Candace said he ran in the woods. I don't know when the video was taken. I think the TikTok video was taken very soon after they got to the watering hole. I think it was they got in, Summer got in, and then she's, Candace is there, and then Summer or H takes off, flashes the gang signs, and then they go do their thing, whatever, that is. Did she go, where did Hunter go? Was he, he's a minor, literally drinking alcohol. And another thing, do you think he could have drank that big twisted tea in 15 minutes? I mean, what is your thought on that? But didn't Leslie from TBI say Summer was spotted walking on the road? I've never heard that from Leslie. No. See, I don't think he's going to drink that in 15 minutes. I mean, he could have guzzled it, yeah. That's just a lot for someone to. I'm supposed to believe that Dawn and Candace are capable of committing the perfect crime and fooling law enforcement. I don't buy it. Well, you don't have to. Nobody's asking you to. I think they're just as capable as anyone else. And what I think, uh, in my opinion, the reason they haven't got caught is because of their phones. And I think a vehicle that wasn't a modern day vehicle maybe the roads that they took as well. But let's hold on, let me see if there's anything more of this before I go any further. Yeah, so 20 seconds is all it takes. And that is absolutely frightening. And you know that Candace probably wasn't watching that closely. She makes it sound like she's a doting mother that walks Summer to the door. He drank it fast because he couldn't take it with him. Potentially. I've also wondered Did they drop? Hold on, I won't say it. How is it a perfect crime? There is no perfect crime. Yeah, there is no perfect crime. It's very hard to, they're still, well, we'll say this, they're still definitely suspects. They haven't been not, they haven't been cleared. So I'm just going to say if I was innocent, I would be demanding, you better freaking clear me because I know I'm innocent, right?
They don't want to tell.
Now listen to this. This is Voices Behind the Wall. Don talking to Cher. Okay, it's very important. Very important because Don talks about. See, this is the thing. Don is so focused on CPS in this conversation that he's not thinking about anything else. So, in my opinion, he is so focused on CPS, he blurts something out that happened that day subconsciously, not knowing it.
Us. I don't understand why, or if this is something made up by them or something, or what. I don't know. So June 14th, the day before all this that you showed, the swimming hole thing.
Yeah.
June 14th.
Did you hear that? That's the first one. June 14th, the day before the swimming hole thing. What was the thing at the swimming hole? Tell us more, Don. Tell us more.
They, we've been dealing with them and everything. They'd come to the house and everything was fine according to them. And so they closed the case on June 14th.
Okay.
They brought a supervisor up here, and I can't remember her name. We've vetted this woman's name, looked into her, and everything seems to be legit. Okay, with her and the previous caseworker, the day they closed the case. But I would like to say that this woman was looking around our house, watching Summer carefully and stuff, because I remember clearly I was there when I got home from work.
Okay.
And Summer was running around, and the boys had their motorcycles, and they were like showing off to the caseworkers and stuff how good they could ride their motorcycles and stuff. And Waylon had his little electric motorcycle from Walmart and running around and stuff. And so they said they closed that case because of whoever called and said we was, and I can't imagine who would call and say that I was giving my kids loaded guns to play with or whatever. It's so ridiculous. I don't understand that.
Okay.
But they closed the case. Everything was fine according to CPS. And almost exactly 24 hours later, after the swimming hole incident and everything, while I'm still at work.
The swimming hole incident. What, Don? What incident? There was no incident at the swimming hole. You were there 15, 20 minutes, right?
And almost exactly 24 hours later, after the swimming hole incident and everything, while I'm still at work, she disappears
Mm-hmm.
and is gone.
He said it twice there. Twice. Within a minute and a half. He is so focused on CPS, railing against CPS. What was there an incident there, Don? What happened? There was no incident. Right? You were there 15 minutes waiting for a prescription. That's not an incident. After the swimming hole incident, while I'm still at work, he made sure to exclude himself from the incident. Bingo. 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 Why don't CPS charge them when they kidnap their kids? Oh, they can charge them with, more than that. The swimming hole incident. We've never heard of an incident in over 2 years at the swimming hole. We've always wondered. But what is that incident? You slipped. You slipped. Now, I want to show you this. Credit goes to Voices Behind the Wall. Share.
Oh, sorry. That's okay. I can't math sometimes either. All right.
A little less.
Okay. So you were. I'm sorry. Repeat that again. Hunter called you. Yeah. Okay. So Hunter called you and he said Summer's missing. He said, "Dad, I'm in some trouble." I said, "What do you mean?" Hunter. You getting ready to lay down, baby? That way. 1 second. Sorry. Boy, you gotta go. Close my door, bud. Thank you.
Dad, I'm in trouble.
Okay, does anybody want one? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Let me specify. It's just a joke.
Here's my question. Other than Candace being worried about giving H vapes and alcohol, which really isn't that big of a deal compared to your daughter missing, right? I mean, it's a big deal that a minor is given alcohol. I get it, right? But let's put it in perspective here. Is it if you spent the day with Hunter the day Summer went missing, right? And you gave him alcohol, but your daughter goes missing. You're not going to really, I mean, you're not going to make a special, in my opinion, you're not going to make a special trip to H's house when your daughter's missing and say, "Don't tell him I gave you alcohol." See, I don't think she's necessarily covering I don't think I think H is a victim in this. I want to make that very clear. Right. But with Dawn saying the incident that happened that day twice in a minute and a half. And then Andrew here, he said, H told him, "Dad, I'm in trouble." And then you have Candace going over to H's house and Allie's, obviously. Was she just there to tell him, "Don't tell him about the alcohol"? Was that all she was there to tell them? Or did something actually happen at the watering hole? Or somewhere around the area. I don't know. She wanted to know what H said. Not to mention, we do know, based upon the flute guy, I forget his name. I always forget his name. David, is it Dotson? According to him, Candace was talking to Hunter the times that he was over there after Summer went missing through like Facebook video or whatever. That's how David Dotson met H. Why is she talking to this teenager all this time whenever she's got a child missing and they're not supposed to be talking in the first place? To make sure they got the story right before they started going on social media. Well, there's just different situations here. I don't know what else he says here.
That girl. What, baby boy? You want me to close the door? All right, I got you, buddy. I don't know. Check outside. She went without lunch. What the fuck? Okay, so I don't know your language. No, no. Holy dumping child. Oh, I love her, but she's a pain. Baby girl, my door is closed. You know better. I don't have any. I don't have any. Oh, you want a couple chocolate eggs? Okay. Uh-oh. All right. I hate to cut this short, but I am being summoned on a different channel.
Okay, sounds good.
Dad, I'm in some trouble. The weight up on H must be tremendous. And I think as adults and human beings, we should have compassion for H because he's almost an adult, but he was a kid at the time. And if something happened on Candace's watch, Grandis's watch, if she was there, but if H was there, I'm sure it must be enormous. Justin Candace also may have threatened him and Allie and said, I don't know. I also wonder. Now, remember, Allie's original story was she went out there. Candace was asleep, or not Candace, sorry. Summer was asleep. She looked like she was asleep. And Candace said, gotta run. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. I actually, and she later said it was a lie. But now I wonder if it's actually the truth. But Allie doesn't talk anymore. Allie's got a lot going on in her own life. But I kind of wonder, was she actually telling the truth? Did they just leave that watering hole? And something happened? I don't know. The problem is, in these case particular, they all lie. And there's people, in my opinion, that don't want Summer found. At least they don't act like it. At least they don't act like it. Remember, it takes just 20 seconds for a child to drown. Now, let's look at some Dawn slip-ups.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just the time that you called her that day. About what time was that?
Like how far in between calls between you and her having that call when she's picking up prescriptions to she's calling you saying Summer's missing? Do you know how long?
Yeah, I honestly can't say, but I remember. The only thing that I can remember, it was thinking, well, I might as well just work late because they're busy doing other things, and there's no point in me going home because I don't want to go home and sit there by myself. So I figured I'd just work late that day. And that's, yeah.
Okay. And why did Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids.
There's, well, everyone knows you called your wife. Could you kind of give us a little details about that? Do you kind of remember, was it morning, afternoon, later afternoon when you called her? Do you remember how that conversation went at all? Because Hunter's saying you called about, two people touching children or whatever. So could you kind of tell us if you remember what time the call was and how that conversation went?
Well, the only thing I know is, I call her from time to time just to see what she's doing, and she said that she's taking care of some prescriptions or whatever. It seemed to me that it was later than that, but because I made up my mind, well, they're busy doing this and whatever, I might as well just stay late at work. So I was working late.
I wonder about that as well. You might as well stay later and work. Let's look at this. So the TikTok video was at noon. What do you mean you might as well stay later and work? That's at noon. You're making no, there's no, how is that? 12:21 is the TikTok video. So between 11 and 12:21, you was at Walgreens and then the watering hole. What do you mean, Don? You might as well work late. Because what I've heard is Don takes off work at about 11:30 in the morning. Lots of times. Yeah. 11:30 at Walgreens. Bingo. Now, if that was like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I'd be like, yeah, you might as well stay later. Might as well stay later. But 11:30, you might as well just stay later. Why would you tell her that then? Don't forget, Don took a big loop around the holler searching where there was a lot of places. Yeah, well, yeah, he was going to call it a day before noon. Doesn't make sense. Who calls it a day before noon? Let's see where else Don screws
Hey,
up.
Don.
Hey,
Your wife messaged me and said that you was at home in a 3 o'clock hour, and I have that as evidence. She did not want nobody to know you was at home.
that's not true. After
Well,
she messaged you that, if that's not the case, that don't even
do
make sense.
you have?
I mean, why would she say something? that's not true?
Precisely, and that's what.
Don might as well give it up. Give it up. You was at 110 Ben Hill Road that day. Fred Hill says he sees you earlier in the morning. Here it says Candace says 3 o'clock. Give it up. What else does Don say? Yeah.
But so they was at the lake, and then
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Hunter and his, I guess they went. She called and says, "Come by the house," and then she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so he could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and I said everything was okay in that situation between now.
Yeah. Which situation?
Sir.
Which situation?
Don catches himself. You guys need to listen to that again. Very close. He's already off his game here. He's already off his game here because he's nervous. There's two people literally watching every body movement he makes, every micro movement. These people are trained. Now listen, he catches himself. Don's quick. He's quick. He has literally been a criminal since he could pretty much walk. Been in and out of jail. He's good at it.
But so they was at the lake, and then Hunter and his, I guess they went. She called and says, "Come by the house," and then she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so he could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and I said everything was okay in that situation between now.
Yeah. Which situation?
Sir.
Which situation?
And then I took her back and I said everything was.
I took her back. Who did you take back, Don? It's interesting. And then he tries to go over, and then from the behavioral panel, he goes, "Who did you take back?" And Don goes, "Sir."
A little little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and I said everything was okay in that situation between now.
Yeah. Which situation?
Sir.
Which situation, sir?
Which situation? So Don says everything was okay between the situation between them. What else does Don talk about?
This is all our property here to the left. All this, our house is up there on top. So all this is our property. So I turned.
So we turned, I turned, so we turned, I turned. So we turned, I turned.
Straight away in here. There was never somebody that just disappeared without a clue that I know of. I'm sure it happens, but not that I've ever seen in my life. Well, when there's an abduction, I mean, what else would you call it? Yeah, disappearing. I don't understand that. You know, but yeah, if somebody was either hiding in the weeds there, waiting for either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away when she got gone.
We weren't 30 feet. She weren't 30 feet when she got gone. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, maybe 40 at the most. Right. I don't know.
Saw that night. How well do you know him? And do you know why
This
he was
one's the
out there
favorite.
around your boys?
Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name, and so I think I don't know, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I've known him for years.
Well, I'm gonna end this show, but
Us screaming Summer's name, and so I think I don't know, I don't know for sure. I don't know.
saw that night. How well do you know him? And do you know why he was out there around your boys?
Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name.
A lot of the neighbors heard you screaming Summer's name. Oh. You catch yourself though, don't you, Donnie boy?
And so I think I don't know, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but
I don't know for sure because I wasn't there. Wasn't there.
I've known him for years.
Well, I'm gonna end this show, but I mean, if you've
All
said
right.
everything,
Listen to this one.
I'm not looking into the church people to make you angry. I'm looking into the church people because they were some of the last people around your daughter, Donald.
No, they weren't around her at all. We was at our house and nobody was here but me. I wasn't here.
So when Robin tells Chris McDonough in that interview,
That one is my favorite that he bust out because it's so funny. It's so funny. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you. That one. No, he wasn't, Cher. I was here. I wasn't here. I mean, it's like obvious as day.
I've known him for years.
well, I'm gonna end this show, but I mean, if you've
All
said
right,
everything,
sure,
I'm not looking into the church people to make you angry. I'm looking into the church people because they were some of the last people around your daughter, Donald.
No, they weren't around her at all. We was at our house and nobody was here but me. I wasn't here.
So when Robin tells Chris McDonough
No, they weren't, Cher. Nobody was there but me. I wasn't there. Oh my god. Donnie boy, Donnie boy.
In that interview, and she said,
So, here we go. I didn't want to go home and sit by myself at 11:30 in the morning. And by the way, you wouldn't be by yourself because your boys would have been there, right, Don? Right? Okay. Hunter is confused. He thinks Don is home. He thought Don was home. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you, my dear. Thank you. Candace messaged Jenna saying Don was home. That was very early on. Don says, I took her back. We turned here. We weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet. And he says 40 at the most. A lot of our neighbors heard us screaming, Summer. Nobody was here but me. I wasn't there. And said, don't tell anyone that Don was there at 3. Leaving the boys all day long is, I bet, another issue that CPSK. You see, Jose always told me, he said, I can't imagine Candace leaving the boys there all day long because they were hyper. They could get into stuff, right? And to have CPS there the day before and you leave 3 boys there all day long, when Don usually, if Candace doesn't have him, he'll take him to work. So I think, in my opinion, Don did not go to work that morning. I don't think he went to work that morning. That's my opinion. My opinion. Let me see here. Let's go back to this.
She went like as far as that, and not no farther. Okay. I just seen that she was underwater for like 15 seconds. So I was like, "Are you okay?" And I pulled up. She said, "Yeah, I'm just swimming underwater."
Okay, so you see a point.
Now remember, the boys aren't there at the watering hole. Although Candace showed David Dotson pictures and told David Dotson that the boys were there that day and H wasn't, but I guess she was obviously lying. Or he was confused, one, but he made it very clear, no, I didn't meet H until I saw him on the Facebook Messenger. And if the boys aren't there to look out for their sister, Grandis is up there putting her phone thingy in. H is doing his thing. Candace is on her phone or TikTok or whatever. How it just takes 20 seconds. 20 seconds for a child to drown. That's it. Thank you so much, Imagine Peace. Been waiting for a live like this with a compilation of the slip ups. Great love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Trust me, we're not going to stop until Summer has justice. Trust me, I pray that is way sooner than later. Do I ever? But thank you so much. But for, people minimize usually something that's going on, especially a crime or, an activity that they don't want to get caught in. And sometimes they'll give you a little bit of it or a partial part of it, partial truth, as they say. He says that Summer did go underwater and it was enough to scare a teenager to jump in the water and check. Most kids are really consumed about their self, right? Especially teenagers. So, did something happen enough to where, something did happen enough to where H jumped in the water. He thought something was wrong. But he said she was maybe underwater 10 or 15 seconds. And he said Summer came up laughing. So, I don't know.
Where Summer is underwater.
For like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, walk me through that.
So I go in calm as heck because I know she might just be messing around.
Did you think she was injured?
No,
Could she have been?
She could have been. I mean,
okay, so let's go from the moment you see her, and what did you do?
I just throw my shirt down and just throw myself into that water to see if she's okay.
Okay, so you got scared.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, walk me through those emotions.
I was just like,
So again, it's enough to scare, or what H eventually says here, I don't know if it's scare, but it kind of spooked me. So to me, that says a lot, in my opinion. If it scared H, did it not scare Candace? And if it didn't scare Candace, where was she? Was she up at the truck? Did something happen to Summer in those seconds? And Hunter could possibly feel like, because this is all, speculation, what I'm saying, in my opinion, could he have been, H could have been there. Candace could have been up at the truck fixing the minutes or on their phones. And H thought, oh my God, because I was standing around here and she went underwater and something happened, it's my fault. I hope that he is not blaming himself.
I don't really get scared or nothing, to be honest. I just get a little bit like spooked.
Got it. She got nervous.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And did you call her?
Yeah, I was like, Summer, but I don't know if you can hear underwater like that.
So can you see her underwater?
No, yeah, you can see her. I could see her. It's just that I was wanting to make sure that she was okay.
Got it. Straight up. And what happened?
I just pull her up, bring her over my shoulders. I say, are you okay? She goes, yeah.
Did she spit up water or anything?
She did spit up water.
Was she laughing?
She was just laughing, yeah.
So in that moment where she's in the water, how much time do you think, just a guesstimate, between the moment you saw her underwater and the moment you got her up out of the water?
At least like 4 seconds.
Okay, 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So what was Candace doing when Summer.
So he says he's bad with timing, but he says it takes what, 10? He said she was probably under 10 or 15 seconds. He's bad with timing. And it took another 4 seconds to get her out of the water. Well, that's 20 seconds right there. And he's bad with timing. Just a thought. Not saying, I have no idea what happened to Summer. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, after hearing Dawn saying incident happened twice, Summer or Hunter saying, I'm in trouble, Allie and them saying that H came home, freaked out. Dawn, the mishaps that we just saw over and over again just a moment ago. And what else was it? Candace going and saying to Hunter's house, I don't think she's going there for alcohol. I don't think that she's, in my opinion, she might be worried about the alcohol, but if your child's missing, I think that's going to be, and it's a bad thing to give obviously minors alcohol and vapes and stuff, but in these, you got to compare. I don't think that, first of all, Candace, Dawn would have been worried about it. And I actually don't even think the police would have been worried about it at that point because they're looking for a child.
Was under the water.
Talking to her mom.
And what was the grandma doing?
Talking back.
And what was the grandma doing?
Talking back. Looking for flowers.
Right.
So H says there that they're not paying attention. They're looking for flowers when this happens. He says it. What are they doing? They're talking to each other, looking for flowers. Okay.
$4 seconds.
Okay, 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, what was Candace doing when Summer was under the water?
Talking to her mom.
And what was the grandma doing?
Talking back. Looking for flowers.
Right. So, you're watching her. She's underwater or goes underwater. Did you see her go underwater?
No, I didn't see her go underwater because she was showing me a TikTok that she done with the dogs and the dirt bikes.
Got it. Candace was.
Yeah.
So your focus was on the TikTok.
For a second there, but then when I turned my eye that way, I just seen that. I don't know how long she could have been under there for, but I just seen her under the water and I didn't see her come back up. So.
Then he says, I don't know how long she was underwater. I just seen her under the water and I didn't see her come back up. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Kind of shook me, so I was gonna go see if she was okay.
So you went in?
Yeah.
Okay. You went in to rescue her?
It could have been longer, could have been shorter. She could have just went under there at that point.
Right.
I don't know.
So you went in to rescue her?
See if she was okay, yeah.
And did you get her out?
Yeah, I got her out.
Okay.
And then not even 15 minutes later, we went to grab that prescription that she needed.
Okay. How was she when she got out? Did she walk back to the car?
Yeah, she would walk back to the car.
She seemed normal?
She just seemed perfectly fine.
Okay. She seemed like Summer?
Yeah.
Did it seem like there was anything wrong with her being under that water?
Not really, but you got to think as a little kid swimming, it can tire you out easily.
True.
So I don't know if she could have been sleeping when they dropped me off because I thought she was awake.
Okay.
He said she was perfectly fine. But he said you've got to also realize she's a kid and they tire out very easily. They also tire out very easily if you haven't fed them. Candace. Bingo. Bingo. Yes. If you don't have swimming wears you out, particularly children, particularly really thin children when they haven't had food for God knows how long. Right? So,
I don't know if she could have been sleeping when they dropped me off because I thought she was awake.
Okay. And so she's on the.
see, that's interesting to me. He said, I don't know if she could have been sleeping at the time because I thought she was awake. I've always felt like that photo of Summer, I do think she is alive in that photo. I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but I have worked at funeral homes and I have volunteered for hospice. And I can tell you that sorry. The thing is, her oxygen looks pretty good in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but her collar looked good in that photo. Someone said what? Um, I've wondered that as well, if she was hypoglycemic. Emma thinks what? What does Emma think? You can tell us you cut off right at the hood part. What do you mean the hood part? But that video just seems very I don't know. It just seems like it was done for a reason. Photo was taken from a video.
The other side or in the middle?
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like against the milk. Gallons of milk. Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay. What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
But they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
She was giggling, watching TikToks and everything. And he said
She was alive. It's not a way to describe a person is alive. What was Summer like whenever she left with whenever she dropped H off. Was she sleepy, happy, grouchy, crying, hungry? I'm sure.
Fell asleep because she was tired. Hunter gets out. He tells you what? He really didn't say nothing. He didn't really say nothing. They were in the house. Okay, then what happened? I asked him how fishing went. He goes, we went swimming. Oh, okay. You know, I asked him how it was. He was fine. He didn't tell me anything about what happened. Nothing. Nothing. What did Hunter say he said? He goes, I just told him everything we did that day. And what was her response? Oh, okay. What was she? Tell him that, did you? And then she said to him, you didn't tell him that, did you? About what? To this day, we really don't know. I really don't know to this day, but he said it was pertaining to do with the alcohol and the puff bar. To this day, we really don't know. I really don't know. What was she? Tell him that, did you? And then she said to him, you didn't tell him that, did you? About what?
And then she said, you didn't tell him that, did you? You didn't tell him that, did you? And Allie says, and all of them say, to this day, we really don't know. We think maybe about the beer or the vapes. Mm-hmm.
What? To this day, we really don't know. I really don't know to this day, but he said it was pertaining to do with the alcohol and the puff bars. So let's go back to the trucks here. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer. Yep. What happens? She said no. I wasn't allowed to wake her up. Okay. So she's sleeping? To me, she appeared sleeping. Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping? At the time, yeah. Okay. But now that I look back on it, I really don't know. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So she's sleeping? To me, she appeared sleeping. Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping? At the time, yeah. Okay. But now that I look back on it, I really don't know. Okay. Fair enough. On it, I really don't know. Okay. Fair enough.
Do you see Grand Bun's head? Might be nothing. But watch Grand Bun's head.
Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer. Yep. What happens? She said no. I wasn't allowed to wake her up. Okay. So she's sleeping? To me, she appeared sleeping. Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping? At the time, yeah. Okay. But now that I look back on it, I really don't know. Okay. Fair enough.
That's another reason why I wonder if Allie was she actually telling the truth here? Or did she really lie?
Okay. So she's sleeping? To me, she appeared sleeping. Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping? At the time, yeah. Okay. But now that I look back on it, I really don't know. Okay. Fair enough. Now that I look back on it, it's like, was she really alive? Was she sleeping? Yeah, I believe she was alive here. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where would you put her being alive? 10. And where would Hunter put her? At a 10. Okay.
She was one of my little princesses.
She's a cutie pie.
She was. Still is. Summer was his pride and joy out of all those kids. That was his baby girl. That was his angel. He loved Summer to death.
Yeah.
That was his pride and joy.
Yeah.
That was his pride and joy.
Is she still around?
And those kids meant the world to me. Little Summer still does. Even the boys. It just kills me that she's gone. And, you know, sucks.
Candace was dirty.
And she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so they could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and they said everything was okay. I said, no, I wasn't there, of course. But according to my wife's story, which I believe,
Quite interesting. Quite interesting. You just don't know. You really just don't know. Don will not, if you'll notice, he might now, because I know he's watching me, but go back in his recent lives. He doesn't say Summer. He says, he refers to Summer as her. Her. I think it's too painful for someone who knows, in my opinion, something more, at least, in my opinion. He says her a lot. I've noticed it specifically watching Cher and Don's interviews. I've watched it very carefully. He refers to Summer as her a lot. Candace called Hunter when something first happened to Summer. Well, we know that Candace called Hunter first. She says she called Allie first. I don't have the phone records. I have no idea. But we do know how she got in contact after they got to Ben Hill Road was through Hunter. You notice that too? Yeah. And there's a lot of she was. Two gallons of milk would be better placed on the floorboard. I would never You're exactly right, Peanut Gallery. Particularly someone who is cold all the time, i.e., Summer. According to Candace, she said she's cold all the time. I don't know how anyone could be cold allegedly sitting in a still car, windows down or not, in the middle of June in Tennessee summer heat. I don't know how anyone could be cold, especially the way Summer was dressed, much less propped up, literally propped up on gallons of milk. Yes. Candace, in my opinion, was driving Subaru. those clothes just happen to be in the truck and not in the car. They are normally in. Weird. I keep extra stuff in my car now as an adult. I don't know, but this was supposed to be. Am I recalling this? Keep me, on track here. Wasn't that supposed to be Summer's first day of kindergarten outfit? If it was, why was it in the car? Brain shuts down when you can't breathe from drowning. Said she put her swimsuit on S because she was always hot. Remember, Justin? Yeah, this is the other thing. Why did did you dress her for the swimming at 7:30 in the morning? You put the bathing suit under her at 7:30 in the morning? I don't see that happening. I just don't. Or did you actually change her at H's house? Because H said that you were told Allie you was going fishing, not swimming. Why can't you mother heifers just tell the truth? That would be like nice. Like, could you get your story straight? Well, there was talk about going to the water park that day, but the problem is, if you're back at the house at 3 o'clock, the day's shot for the water park. It would be too hot for the outfit on first day of school. August is hot. Yes. And hottest part of the day to put the clothes on. Bingo. I wish they would show those interrogations. I wish they would release the 911 call. It is still really hot in August when they go back to school already. Or that wasn't she changed in the car or next to it? No, not that I'm aware of. Well, they said that, or Hunter said that she went in the house and changed Summer, meaning Allie's house. Also, while Allie was in the bathroom sleeping. Yeah. There were conflicting stories about what Summer was wearing, changing at Allie's in school outfit. Well, a lot of things don't make sense about the outfit, the jugs of milk, and where they were sitting. That's what doesn't really make sense. Changed her from swimsuit to the watering. Candace said Candace changed her from the swimsuit at the watering hole. Where did she say that at? Yeah, she was sleeping on the toilet. So Chris, the interview room. here. He where did he drop it at? Hmm. I'm trying to find it. He recently uploaded something, a part of the interview with Summer with Allie and them, and that's what I'm trying to find here. Let me see here. I don't know what he did with the. When did he? No, it's 5 months ago. I don't know if he took it back down or what, but I remember washing the outfit, or am I crazy? Where did. Okay. It's all factual, no paranormal stuff. I dissected the 2 milk images and compared them. Please review it. Okay. Can you email it to me? That would be better. Just email me the link. That way we can. There's a lot of stuff here, y'all. It's I don't know. It just takes 20 seconds, and the more I see. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's very kind of you. I appreciate you, my dear. Lots of good information. Oh, here it is. Let me find. Here we go. Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed. This is what we need to look at.
And then I'm
Okay, this is Emma with Crime Stories Obsessed. So we have all of those things that Dawn talked about. The the oopsies, the oopsie daisies, right? Well, this woman right here worked with Ronnie Lawson for 20 some years. She did go on Ziggy's. She did go on Ziggy's. That's good, Daily. Take notes. It's good. It's how we learn. We forget so easy. Trust me, I forgot. So this is Crime Stories Obsessed. Our good friend Emma. Thank you, Spirit. 30 years, 27 years, something to that effect. She was there a minute. We'll say that, okay? She was there a minute. Now, I don't dispute that was her on Ziggy's, and I don't dispute the lady, that was up on Ziggy's and all that. Now, a lot of people may say that Ronnie Lawson didn't tell her this. I think, first of all, Ronnie Lawson would deny it because it's not professional. But I think one day they were probably talking about YouTubers, and Ronnie said something to the effect of, my opinion, yeah, ask him why Candace waited 4 hours until she called the police. And we know TBI said early afternoon.
Walking outside the house and not being found. She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and the FBI. We don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this. No, they're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys.
Is there anything else on that front you want to say or speak about?
Not right now.
It must be very frustrating for the sheriff and the TBI when there's not a lot to go on in the disappearance of Summer Wells. But you hear that Ronnie Lawson, when interviewed, didn't look very happy and basically pointed out to the public that the family of Summer Wells, Candace and Don, were no longer cooperating with the investigation. Seems strange when you've got a missing 5-year-old. But not wanting to cooperate to help find their daughter anymore. Anyway, not that we'd understand that, obviously. But after they stopped talking, and according to Ronnie Lawson, they do watch social media and they do have people that check in, and if they see things, they will look into it and they will, see if there's anything in the information that we put online. So Sheriff Ronnie Lawson then apparently that we put online.
Sorry, I wanted to see what that was. That was the sickening message text Don wrote about them having where they got their PORN from. Oh my God. Very sick PORN. I can still remember some portraying young kids. We would sneak these magazines out from our uncle's bedroom and we would look. Sick PORN was all we had to learn. You never. Ugh.
See if there's anything in the information that we put online. So Sheriff Ronnie Lawson then apparently asks Michelle Bean, shown in the picture here, who worked with him for, 27 years? Like nearly 3 decades? And she worked doing all sorts of things at the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. But she was quite close to Ronnie Lawson, and he spoke to her about the case, but asked her to ask YouTube what they thought to this.
I just appreciate everything that you all are doing for Summer. I really do. And if I tell you where I'm from, I'm afraid somebody will know who I am. Because I'm well known around here. I told you where I worked at. Oh, crap. I'll just tell you. I'm from Hawkins County. Plus, I'm going to tell you where I worked at, too, so everybody will know.
Okay. Wait, didn't you
Police
say...
department.
Yes, that's right. You worked at the sheriff's department.
Sheriff's department for 27 years.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice. I already know. Thank you for your public service, madam. Ask you a question since you're here.
All right.
You still got connections with the Hawkins County? I'm sure you do, don't you?
Yeah, honey, I know about all of them.
That's good to know.
The only thing the sheriff told me to ask you to was to find out where or what took her 4 hours to call the sheriff's department.
4 hours?
He said if you want to tell YouTube anything, ask him why it took 4 hours for her to call the sheriff's department.
Oh my God.
So I'm putting it out there on Ziggy's panel.
There you go. That changes the time. What do we have? We were stretching each of them to an active 2-hour block of time where they could not be accounted for. Who said that, Miss Michelle?
The sheriff told me to say that.
Lawson?
There you go.
Yes,
Are you-
because I
you don't-
talked to him about it.
So, Candace, what actually happened that day? And why did it take you 4 hours to report her missing?
That is really her. But I don't think. I mean, I don't think she thought Ronnie was. I don't think she thought she would get up on a panel and ask. But listen to what TBI said. They kind of
This
confirm it.
changes everything. Where was Summer for 4 hours? Why did it take her 4 hours to report Summer missing? And what were they doing in that 4-hour timeline? Take your pick. Now, from what I was told, after this happened, Cher rang the police department and asked them why Michelle was asking this question on YouTube. According to law enforcement, they said that they had not asked Michelle to say anything on YouTube. So what do you think, guys? Why are they lying? Is it a case of, he asked her to do that. He asked her to try and find out the answer to that question. But obviously they don't want to admit to it because it just looks unprofessional. But what do you think? I mean, she obviously knows Ronnie Lawson. She's worked for them for 27 years. She comes on panel and speaks to Ziggy and Benny. I mean, to me, it seemed real. I think that she did. I think that she did speak to Ronnie Lawson. I think that he did ask her to ask this or asked her to find this information out. And I think they denied it for their own reasons. But this is the interview that Leslie Earhart gave at the point when Summer was missing. And let's not forget what she actually says here, that Summer went missing in the early afternoon.
Not any more than what we originally released. We know that her family reported her missing. They called the sheriff's office around 6:30. Prior to that, it was early afternoon when she was last seen. And they searched for a little bit and they reported her missing.
It was early afternoon. Early afternoon.
So it looks to me personally like they're going off what H or what Ali said, what maybe a camera showed when they were in town, maybe one of the shop cameras or when they got the slushy, but they're not going on the family saying that they saw her. It's like they're completely disregarding anything the family says. And by saying she was seen early afternoon, that means that the last person or the last camera is what they're going on. They're not going on the family story. And that's how I look at it. After everything you've seen in this video today, has it changed your thoughts on the timeline, on how long she was actually missing for, on the fact that Ellie seemed to be disregarding the family and the fact that they were planting flowers and all that rubbish, as far as I'm concerned anyway? That's just my opinion. It seems they're disregarding all of that and they're going on the last time she was actually seen, the last time she was seen on.
So that's Emma with Crime Stories Obsessed. If you haven't subscribed to Emma with Crime Stories Obsessed, you're doing yourself a disservice. She is one of the sweetest people in true crime, as far as I'm concerned. Love her dearly. Great, great person. So let's look at that timeline. Let's look at that timeline. Remember, Don called at around 11 or 11:30 whenever they was in line at the Walgreens saying, "Oh, I'll just work late. It isn't even lunchtime yet, dude." And he's saying that he's going to work late, right? Now, the call he called 626 called 911 per Candace Hara phone, then drives Candace Hara Grandis truck all the way down by the church, then went all the way down the other way, and I didn't see nobody out and about. Then I went in the way back in the holler as far as I could go, and I didn't see nothing back there either. When I was coming back out of the holler, the cops were coming up the driveway. So I just followed them up in here. I don't recall if Don Wells was here before the police got here or if he was here the same time they showed up. Now that is Candace's early quotes. Okay. So let's say 6:30. 4 hours before. 5:30, 4:30, 3:30, 2:30. That's 4 hours. 2:30. What was happening at 2:30? 2:30, she dropped off H. She dropped off H. I wonder if I can zoom that in more for y'all. Let's just do it like this. Right? She dropped off H at 2:30. Well, that's what makes me wonder. We don't. The 4 hours, that's why I wonder if something happened at that watering hole or something shortly after. It doesn't even matter what time it starts or stops. The point is that law enforcement officials stated that the parents waited 4 hours. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Now, let me tell you something. If you're not involved, why the hell did you wait 4 hours? Could somebody just answer that? It's roughly 27 minutes from H house to 110. Yes. Second of all, the way Dawn came in on June 15th, driving like a bat out of Hades. Why did he take the route that he took? Probably because there's nothing, no cameras. There's definitely got to be a missing phone in this. Absolutely. I think so too. I mean, Candace admitted to Chris that she needed to take a phone. Did she ever take it? And that was in July, weeks after Summer had been missing. Whenever she got the time. Let me tell you something. I don't know how any person that has ever been to Ben Hill Road stands at the bottom of that hill. You have no idea what is up on the top of that hill from the bottom of that hill. And says a stranger went up there and took that child. In 2 minutes, in 5 minutes. It's just you have a much better chance of an accident, particularly, what do we know? What are the events that happened that day that we know that Summer was doing? And the only events we know that she did that we have documented is that she played in the water. It could have been. I will say this. My two top theories is something happened at the water, or it's something CPS related. They were scared of something. That's my two. Think about what Grandis told her one friend, that she told Summer to stop drinking that orange soda. Why was that a major thing to Grandis? You also have to remember that, was it True said that Summer OD'd before. It was on, I don't know, Candace was asleep or something, and there was math on the table, allegedly. The Tic Tacs and the orange soda, her age was, I mean, she was, I'm sure, a hungry child. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is if your Summer, anybody's, would get a hold of something that is illegal, you're instantly going to prison. I mean, that's murder. They were closed cases, but the boys were home cleaning. CPS was coming in the 16th. Candace did say the boys were home cleaning. She did say that. Now, I think she told them to do some stuff. I don't know if they would have done it or not, but yeah, there is no discrepancy about those kids being neglected. It's not even debatable. It's not even debatable. Yeah, not much cleaning there. Yes, she did say that, but then they went with Dawn. So which was it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I I think either something happened at the water or it is CPS related. I don't know, but I think the moment the cops got Don said the first two callers that got there, he said they weren't believing, and then he changes his tune, and he said they separated them. But I think that they should have treated it like a crime scene. They should not have been able to spend the night in that house. They didn't, forensics weren't out there till like the next day. Like they should not have been able to spend the night in that house. It should have been when a kid goes missing like that, regardless whether you think the parents are, they have no idea whether the parents are innocent or guilty. It needs to be treated as a crime scene. It just does. Did they ever get anything at Christmas? Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. You can see their little Dollar Tree. So sad, man. God, it's so sad. That would come out of Candace's alcohol and drug money and Don's coke money. So H couldn't remember any details where he sat. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree bullshit. Yeah. I mean, she bought other stuff. Um Let me see if I can find it. Where did I- Give me a second. Oh, that's not it. She bought a lot of the toys like at yard sales and stuff like that. Here is something. I was just looking. Thank you, baby kisses. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you, my love. This is Candace. She would put stuff on Facebook yard sale with, you can see her here with her rebel. Now this says November 22nd, 2020. Here's the Facebook receipt. You decide to sell a new LOL bag instead of giving it to Summer later. She's at a yard sale. This isn't her stuff. She said this was her stuff. But if the toys listed above aren't Summer's, why are they in the pictures at Summer's birthday date of February 2nd, 2020? And the bigger question is I have, where are they now? Why was Candace selling all her toys she loved? Summer's birthday, February 2nd, 2020. November 22nd, 2020, she's selling them. Thank you so much. Right, Can. November 25th, 2020, she's selling all of it up. Poor kid couldn't even keep her fucking toys. Well, you see what she had left. Bingo. You saw what she had left. That's right, comments. You know, a bunch of shit tore up laying in the floor in her room. Let's not forget what her room looked like. Here, February 2nd, 2020, Summer's birthday. And they aren't, and just to be honest with you, she bought them, they weren't brand new, right? They weren't brand new because my kids had these, right? And I can tell you how much they cost because I've bought them brand new. And these are about $55 each. This is about $50 or $55 each, brand new. They're expensive. Anything that's branded like that it's expensive. And she bought them all right before Summer's birthday, February 2nd, 2020. And again, by the time, one second. And right before, when was it? November. She didn't even get to keep her. Yeah, Summer's birthday is February 4th. Yeah, but she posted it the 2nd. Selling her stuff for, dope. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all. It's been a good live. Thank you all for being here. I'll catch you guys soon. I went over longer than I normally do. If I have time tonight, I'll be back. If not, we are going to be doing a Daisy Basham live soon on Clutch Them Pearls. So join us over there. I got to get my hair bow from the TJ Maxx's. So please, yes, they did Common Sense. You're exactly right. Please make sure you guys sub up to Clutch Them Pearls over there. I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you all. God bless each and every single one of you. We'll see you guys on the next one. Good night.